Hi, it's Mark at FBA to USA. Come to FBA2USA.com for hints and tips getting started on Amazon Seller Central if you or your products are starting from outside the USA. Today I'm really covering a frequently asked question. Obviously a lot of you are not based inside the USA, that's why you're listening to this, and a question that comes up for sellers who are getting started and who have achieved their first sales on Amazon is dealing with currency risk. Once you're selling for a while, you'll probably find that your costs, if you're buying your product in China, are likely to be denominated in US dollars. If you're buying your product inside the USA, they will be denominated in US dollars, and even if not, then US dollars are a functional currency of an awful lot of places where you may do sourcing. And of course, if you're selling in the USA, then the majority, if not all your revenue, will be coming in US dollars. Now, Amazon will pay directly into bank accounts all over the world, and if you're in Europe or Australia, New Zealand, you can usually, in most countries, you can usually get your payment paid direct, and Amazon will take care of the currency conversion for you. But if you're doing that and you're building a business, you're probably also spending money inside Amazon, perhaps using the sponsored products, or even using Google AdWords to drive traffic to your Amazon store. You may also be getting graphic design done, making videos, all sorts of costs where a large proportion of those costs will be met in US dollars. So if you're now receiving and converting all your funds back into your domestic currency and then converting it back into US dollars in order to meet payments, you're exposing yourself not just to a currency risk as the currency fluctuates, but also to transaction fees every time you convert. It can be much more than, say, a PayPal fee. It could be 5% each time. There and back, that's 10% of your revenue, or the revenue that you use to pay costs, being eaten up just by fees converting your money back and forth. So how do you deal with that? Inside my training, I recommend getting an account with Payoneer, P-A-Y-O-N-E-E-R. A Payoneer account is denominated in US dollars. It's also usefully denominated and domiciled inside the USA, linked to Bank of America. That means that your money, your US dollars, are staying in the USA until you take them out of your Payoneer account. When you take them out, you can still pay them to any account in any of the places I've mentioned, Europe, the USA, Europe, Australia, New Zealand, Japan, wherever. But in the meantime, you're holding them in US dollars and you're able to meet payments in US dollars with that source of funds. And they make that easier by giving you a debit MasterCard with it, so you can actually use your credit card to make those payments for all the article writing or AdWords or whatever else it is that you want to be using. You can even use it for your subscriptions to Etsy and eBay and all those other things that you may be paying for in US dollars. So why aren't you doing that? If you do it, you'll be saving yourself the conversion. You'll also be saving yourself international bank transfer fees for all your money, and then the only risk you have is building up a large US dollar denominated balance inside Payoneer. And what are you going to do with that? Well, the two things you can do are work out what your income and expenses are and just withdraw whatever you need into your domestic currency, or if that's too complicated to be thinking about all the time, set yourself up a US dollar account where you're actually based, not inside the USA but in the country that you're resident in. Get an offshore, or it's actually called an onshore US dollar account in the place that you're based, and then pay your US dollars from Payoneer into that account and keep them in US dollars. That way, if your expenses do fluctuate and go up, or if you decide to try and push your expenses to grow your business quicker, you've still got that US dollar income to use. And then you can still convert it out of that account when you're ready into your domestic currency to meet your domestic expenses. So basically, between you and Amazon, you get Amazon, you pay Amazon to Payoneer, you take Payoneer, pay it to a onshore US dollar account, and then you withdraw your funds when you're ready for them in your own currency from your onshore US dollar account. So a few steps there, but well worth setting up once you've got a six-figure business. Okay, if you've got any questions yourselves, you'd like me to answer them with a video, why don't you just email me, mark@fba2usa.com. I'll try and deal with them. Cheers.